We're doing a late night episode because you've been busy.
Yeah,
Is that right?
somewhat.
What's been happening? What's been happening?
Uh, I told my friends I'd have some dinner late with them today.
Okay, well that was not as exciting as I was hoping. I was hoping there was some like action adventure or
Yeah, I had to change into Superman.
yeah.
I had to morph, transform from Clark Kent.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
Hey, John,
John,
this is a good introduction.
I guess it's been a little while. Do you have any updates for our listeners?
Not too much. How
They'd
about you?
like to provide. Regarding me, well, they hear me every week. They don't need anything else from me.
Uh, is there anything that you're hiding from the audience that you should get out
Hiding.
there? Yeah.
Well, that's too long of a list. I would say, uh, I think my life is pretty much the same as last time they would have heard me talk about it. But you're usually up to it no good, so that's why.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
What kind of shenanigans you've gotten into recently?
Boredom. That's the
Usually
type.
boredom.
Yeah.
Boredom is the shenanigans you've been in.
Yeah, that's the set of, activities.
Is it back to well, how's the or you're still in school, right?
Yeah.
Do you get a little break now, or what's the deal?
Yeah, for a little bit. For a little bit.
Can you try to mansplain
Yeah.
med school for our listeners?
Yeah, yeah. I went golfing yesterday with some well no, pardon me, not yesterday. The other day. I believe it was Friday with some friends. I suck at golf, but I played it in high school, so that gave me a little bit of a, chance. It's pretty fun.
I don't remember you being a golfer.
Yeah, I definitely didn't do it at Georgia Tech. They have some like people who go straight to the PGA Tour from Georgia Tech. They have some great people there.
Yeah, and then they have you. So,
Yeah, there was no way I was getting into that.
I feel like it's a lot of time too. It's a lot of traveling,
A lot of what?
traveling and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer to do it, in the context of being a fan, though.
Do you do the drunk golf? Do you bring the drinks out? I know some people that love to do that. Like they can't do golf without, I guess, beer on the course.
Yeah, you gotta have some beers. Nah, it would make me suck.
I think that's kind of the point. Like you go with people that you know are bad. Like everyone's bad. So
Make yourself, you handicap yourself a little bit more.
yeah. You gotta. It makes it easier. You kind of go in with an expectation because if you go in sober, you're like, okay, well, I expect it to be good, or I hope to be my best. Whereas if you're already handicapped, like you say, you've already accepted defeat.
Well, I can see how, like, some people might be, especially if they're over caffeinated, they might end up, being a little bit, like the problem with golf is it's not like baseball where you're just trying to smack the shit out of things. Like, if you try too hard to hit the ball, you'll just drive your club in the ground or something, or you'll smack the ball in no ground, and that's not what you want to do, you know? Makes it really, so maybe if you have a little alcohol and I mean, I could see how some people that might be helpful to.
There's a precision that lose. Yeah.
What was that?
No, there's a precision that you'll lose at some point. So
maybe so. But yeah, if you're trying to kill it, kill every single shot, just smash the shit out of it, then you're gonna lose a lot of precision too. Take it from me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we
else
don't hear too much hear about a bunch of golf shit. So, what are some other good topics?
Well, let me pull it up. If you could stall for 10 seconds. If you could stall for 10 seconds. It's too late now. I've already pulled it up. I have a new. You know what? I bet you haven't heard the last 3 questions on our questions or answers game.
Yeah, maybe not. Try it.
So we're gonna stretch this to a full episode. Well, I don't think you've heard these. So we're gonna start with the third to last. Well, one of them you definitely have because I've never. It's never. This would be the debut for. But the others you might have. So we're gonna start with one. Is a calzone an Italian quesadilla?
That's a good question. Yeah. I'm gonna go with yeah. Pretty much.
Is it in the same family? I feel like it's in the same family,
Yeah, similar concept. Oh, by the way, are you one of the people who would fold your pizza slice over if it's a really thin crust? Like you fold it over, sandwich?
I'm not opposed to it. I don't think it's my go-to, but I see the appeal.
Thin crust to make that work.
I feel like you lose some of the flavor because then you got too much bread sandwiched between. I don't know what I'm saying, but
maybe so. Well, if you get extra cheese, I swear I always get extra cheese on pizzas.
Is that real though? Can you confirm extra cheese is extra cheese?
Yeah, it depends on how much they like or dislike you, I suppose.
How do you know? Is that one of the greatest mysteries in the world? Does extra cheese actually exist?
Yeah. Going to Taco Bell, telling them to put extra of something, you have no clue what's going to happen. You just have to trust. You have to believe in them.
Does anyone go to Domino's, get a regular slice, then get extra cheese, and weigh the difference? But even then, there's a flaw because maybe the bread is different on one, or maybe there's more sauce or something.
That reminds me of how, too, someone went to Subway and they got jalapenos, the jalapeno slices, and they counted how many stems were present, and the results were shocking. I will tell you that. The results were shocking. It was absolutely ridiculous.
The results were shocking.
You were 10 cents. He probably had an average of 3 stems per sandwich. It was ridiculous. Are you a big sub guy?
I could do Subway. I don't see the appeal. I don't.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm not a huge Subway fan, but what do you think are some better sub places? Isn't Jersey Mike's kinda in that ballpark? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a little better. I think that's a little higher. Subway, it's I don't know. There's also and this applies to a lot of these types of restaurants, but how long are the ingredients sitting out, How long has that lettuce been in that bucket or whatever? Is it multiple days?
Yeah.
These are the questions people are asking.
Yeah, dude, you have to wonder. I mean, I feel like I've told you this before, but yeah, seeing shit, when I was working at that butcher market for the summer, you see some shit that is just like beyond the pale. Like, it's scary.
There's all
There
those
were
like TikToks
blue,
of like
green molds on hams, and they're cured hams, so the mold can't permeate through the outer layer, but still, like, you see blue green shit on the outside, and there's like, oh, just use that bag they come in and just scrape it off a little bit. It's okay. God, it's bad.
I was gonna say, is this like the TikToks that are like former employees reveal secret about, whatever, right?
Yeah. Do you believe in that shit where they do the what's it called, undercover boss? I never could believe in that. Like, the immersion is broken for me every single time. There's no fucking way they're not gonna see, like, a full camera crew watching this person, right? Like, who believes that?
I don't. So can you go over the premise? I understand that. I guess I understand the premise, but so it's a boss, obviously, that goes undercover. I'm not breaking ground here, but why is there? What's the premise for the camera crew?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no premise. They don't explain it. So I guess, we're supposed to suspend disbelief and just say, oh, well, they have, like, invisible cameras, Like, they're
like, yeah, you can do hidden cameras, but that's tough, I feel like, I haven't watched a lot of it, but it seems too personal to be hidden cameras.
No, I was being sarcastic. No. That's what I'm saying. It's like, they're metaphorical flies on the wall. I mean, you can see the people, lugging around those giant, $100,000 cameras or whatever. You can see them shifting over, panning, whatever. It's like, there's no way you see a new person join your joint, and then, you see a giant fucking camera crew, and you're like, oh, is that a mustache? That must not be my boss. Like who believes that shit?
Yeah, I don't understand it. That's what I'm saying. Well,
I don't either.
I gotta look this up while you talk about something else, because I need to know.
Sure. Okay. Here's another thing to talk about. What do you think you're not vegetarian, are you? Do you like a good burger?
Okay. Yeah. What's the next question?
What do you think are, like, some of the best fast food? I know this is a huge, like, pain point for a lot of people. What do you think are some of the best fast food joints for burgers?
For burgers.
Or chicken sandwiches, just in general.
I was gonna say, because I don't really go for a burger from those types of places.
Yeah. What do you like? Do you like chicken sandwiches? Like those,
I'll eat a chicken sandwich.
Yeah. What do you think are the best chicken sandwich places then? I know there's a big around Popeyes, right?
There's a big thing, but talking to people around where I live, they're not big on Popeyes, so I'm wondering if that's like a Southern thing.
Well, maybe. What do you think are what do you think are the top 3 chicken places? If you had to pick, I know it's a tricky question, but if you had to pick, just off the top of your head,
just name the top 12.
Top 2, top 1, whatever you want.
Chicken sandwiches. I'm blanking right now.
Chick-fil-A is always going to be up there for people, right?
Yeah, that's a popular one. I can't even think of other ones at this point that have the sandwiches. You know what? People at work talk about the KFC chicken sandwich, and they're a fan of it.
KFC, really? See, I always hear people talk shit about KFC.
That's what I'm saying. So it must be a regional thing, because I have never had a great experience with KFC, so I'm not sure what they're.
Yeah, me neither.
But
it's always fuzzy. Like the coating is chalky to me.
Yeah, I've only been there twice, and it's been years, so I don't even remember. But I think, you know what? I think when I went there to get a sandwich one time, they did not have any. They were out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you know what? I remember now because they said, "Oh, well, we can put like 2 tenders on a sandwich instead of the fillet," and I was like,
Oh, dude, that's what I was just about to say. I saw that today, as a matter of fact. They had, like, what do they do? Like, 2 tenders fried, and then they put, like, I don't know what in the middle, like some cheese and something. I feel like I saw that today, and everyone is making like that the heart stopper kind of meal, whereas many other people have like 6-piece, 12-piece, whatever buckets of that shit. And it's like, really? I mean, is that a heart stopper? Seriously? Those sugary buns aren't a problem? I don't know.
"Yeah."
So what'd you find? Has your search turned up anything on that undercover boss crap?
Nothing about how it's produced. I'm trying to find. I've got like all the format and all that, but I can't.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a reason.
Is it?
They probably keep shit confidential and try to, maybe I'm just cynical, but there is no fucking way that these people aren't paid actors, in my opinion. I might be a conspiracy theorist, talking about chemtrails, gay frogs, and whatever, but.
Here's an entry from the Wikipedia.
What you got?
Explanation. The fictitious explanation for the accompanying camera crew has changed over the years. To begin with, the person was supposedly part of a competition, and a competitor was shown in clips early in the series but later dropped. In later episodes, the idea is that the executive is being filmed as part of a documentary about entry-level workers in a particular industry, usually changing careers. So I don't know if that is satisfying.
It's just like corporate speak to get around the fact that they are absolutely faking it. I mean, it's completely immersion breaking, I would believe it. I would have a way easier time believing it if they were like stationary cameras from a high angle, like security cameras in the restaurant, but you're not going to pick up good audio probably that way, right? So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd have to really go into. I'm trying to see who's on.
Yeah.
These Vitamin Shop readers.
Dude, some of these people who train the new employee / boss, whatever, they are like cartoonishly, like they are super villains practically. They act too evil to be believable.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no way.
I don't know.
But have you seen that, that actually reminds me, have you seen this is a bit old, I actually just found it, the Joe Schmo show?
Joe Schmo show.
It's where they do a reality show. It's kind of like Survivor, sort of, or one of those reality shows where, everyone's in one big house and they vote people out every so and so long. Or every so amount of time, and then they have challenges, whatever, da-da-da-da. But the thing is, everyone except one guy is a paid actor. And they see how much dumb shit they can do before the guy figures it out. I thought that was kind of a cool concept.
Okay, so it's a little switcheroo. It's a fake reality show, if you will.
Yeah, the old switcheroo. It's nice though. They really humiliated the dude, at least the first season, but they gave him all the, prizes that would have gone to the person who won X challenge or Y challenge. Like they gave him everything. They gave him like $100,000. I mean, it was nice of him. Still, I mean, still was kind of a prick move to put him in those weird situations, but I thought it was kind of nice that they gave him everything.
John, just 2 weeks ago, it was announced that they're reviving the show.
Oh, are they really?
To premiere next year. Yep.
Damn. I would have to wonder, how they're going to find people who haven't heard of the show by this point.
I think it was a small enough show. I think it was a small enough show, though. You can get plenty of people. There's tons of these like pranks style type shows that like still find a way to continue to be successful.
Maybe so. Just find someone who lives under a rock or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's plenty of people like that. I think we overestimate how many people are online.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
In a general sense.
Yeah.
All right. The next question, which we got off track for, but that's
right. Sorry, I kind of put us off on a complete tangent there. My bad.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do that. Is skiing just a winter roller coaster?
No. I'm gonna say no.
You can say no. Go ahead.
Like, is skateboarding a summer roller coaster? If you go into one of those, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with no on that one.
Okay. Seems pretty similar, is all I'm saying. The thrill. It's the same type of thrill, you know? But, yeah. Alright, last question. This one's, I don't know. Are scones dehydrated muffins?
Well, I mean, the shape is very different, but
the shape is different. I can't get around the shape, obviously. That's yeah.
Right. But apart from the shape, well, shit. I mean, yeah. They almost have the texture of bagels, right? Like, they're super dry. You gotta put a bunch of butter or something in them, right? Or jelly.
I really don't understand. Why are they so dry?
They suck to me. Yeah, every time I've had one, I assume you've had, I assume since you went to Georgia Tech, you've probably had, some of those scones from Panera, the one on campus.
Yeah, I had a scone.
Was it dry as hell for you too? Yeah, I assume so.
I've had very few non-dry scones.
Yeah. It's probably because they dry out real quick if they sit around for any amount of time, you know. You probably got to get them fresh.
If they're fresh out of the, I guess, oven, then you're probably going to be fine.
Like, have you seen those people who make their own, like, homemade pastries, kind of like that? You know, they completely process the dough from scratch, and they just do all this fancy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stuff's cool to me. Probably a lot of work. Kind of like making a pasta. Like, I would assume most people don't make, like, their own pasta noodles, right?
I would say the vast majority do not. Do you make your own noodles?
No, I've thought about it, though. It seems cool. Like, they make little attachments you can put on your counter, and you can crank the dough through and make your own noodles, like whatever consistency you want. I don't know. That always seemed cool.
I feel like it's just, it's so cheap to buy pasta. It's not even worth it.
I know, but people make like it's so much better. I mean, it's probably not worth all the time and effort, but it might be kind of cool to do. I mean, have you gotten into any other, like, home cooking? Like, any other recipes or anything like that?
Home cooking. But by that, what do you mean?
Well, I don't know, just anything you make at home. I mean, apart from spaghetti, obviously, like, you're just going to toss noodles and sauce and boiling water, you know, but, like, I don't know, chili, or like some kind of casserole, so you gotta, cut vegetables for. I don't know. You ever get any kind of shit like that?
I do pretty simple things. I wouldn't say I go all out on that, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have enough time most days.
Yeah, that's fair. I've been eating too many frozen pizzas lately.
Well, I feel like I go beyond that, but like I feel like most people when they talk about this, they're like, yeah, I spent like 8 hours just.
Oh no, nothing
I'm
like
like,
that. That much
how are
time.
people, how are people spending their whole day making one meal?
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you have a partner, maybe like, or you're inviting some people over, maybe that's reasonable. But yeah, like, yeah, the most time I've spent probably like 2 hours preparing, and then maybe you have to sit like simmering for 2 hours.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's enough time for me.
well, what are your?
Is there? Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, what's?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I
What
was
are
just saying.
what?
What are your favorites? We were talking about fast food earlier. I don't know why I'm just caught on food. Maybe I'm just hungry now again.
I think you're hungry.
But,
You just ate dinner too. I don't know what you're.
yeah, maybe I didn't have a big enough dinner. But, what do you think are the best fast foods to get?
Um.
Or the best
Well,
fast food places? Like, doesn't have to be burgers or chicken sandwiches like we talked about earlier.
I mean, how do you count like a fast casual place, right?
Mm, well, okay, any place that is a
Because then you get
chain.
into what is. Because then you get into what is.
It
What is
gets,
fast food?
yeah, the lines
Is
get blurred. Yeah,
Starbucks.
you're right.
Is Starbucks fast food?
Yeah. Right. Okay. You have a point. Okay. So chain restaurants, like what are places that you feel are good?
Chain restaurant.
Where's the places like, okay, if you're traveling a long way and you see this place in the city you're going to or on the trek towards it, like what is a place you're going to say, hey, yeah, I want to go there?
Shoot, what do you got? I'm trying to think. What do I usually stop at? I can name places that I definitely avoid.
Oh, what are those? No, start out with those. Yeah, I'm curious. Tell me.
Unless it's like 3 a.m. and there's nothing else, then there's no reason to stop at a Waffle House.
Yeah, not 3 a.m. Yeah, you're desperate at that point. No, just middle of the day, everywhere is open.
Because the Waffle House just, I don't know why you would. In the Northeast, I think you can't go to White Castle. It's not. It's like,
Oh,
it's
White
not
Castle. Dude, I've heard so much about that. I've never tried it. Are they good? Like,
good.
what do they
Grindy. I don't know. I've not been impressed. I've been there like a couple times and at like 2 different locations, and it's just no.
yeah.
Um,
Did you say, I'm probably derailing your train of thought, but you ever try a Culver's?
Culver's?
It's kind of a south/southwest thing.
Yeah, I think it's south and southwest. Yeah, that one. That one works real well. That's a good one.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
yeah,
I think it's better than Five Guys. It's cheaper, and I think the quality's a little better.
is it cheaper?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you count the fact that Five Guys loads you down with fries, maybe, yeah, it's probably similar, but you know.
I like how they're called butter burgers. I mean, like what?
Yeah, those
heart attack.
Do you like that was another thing too. Like, do you like your burgers with everything on them, or you just like them plain?
No, I like the things. I think you need things. I think you need the different flavors. But I have to do the plain.
Yeah, I used to only do like meat and cheese, like I might have a bacon cheeseburger, but when I went to Culver's, like their ingredients are so fucking good, I started trying it with all the, lettuce, tomato, whatever. They're that fucking good to me. I'm such a fanboy, dude. They must be paying me. They must be paying
It's not sponsored.
Your podcast, yeah.
What about
No,
the
sorry,
desserts?
you interrupted me. I thought though. What were you saying?
Oh, go ahead. What about the desserts there?
What's up?
Have you gotten into the desserts there?
Oh yeah, those concrete mixers. Have you had them?
World famous. I've had them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's custard, so it's not like grain like ice cream, and it doesn't melt so quickly.
Yeah, it's a little thicker. Yeah, and it doesn't melt
Yeah,
as quick. I would say that. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of them. I like the what did I get last time? Like cherry and the chocolate chunks and maybe malt. I forget. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
I wouldn't say anything. I
No
don't
other
remember
fat
what you're saying.
places?
That's depending on where you are, because this is a regional thing, right?
Yeah, well, sure. Go for regional stuff. I'm actually curious what's up like northeast.
Well, if you've been to, well, that's not that northeast. A Jack in the Box is good. It's like that's like west and southwest.
Yeah, I think I've had them once. They were okay. I liked them all right.
I'm trying to think of like a northeast one, and I can't.
Yeah, is there any exclusive stuff?
There's nothing that jumps out. It's like it's like interstate chains. It seems to be, what I noticed, there's a lot of like regional gas station chains.
Oh wait, yeah. Dude, I was gonna say, I went to Buc-ee's for the first time. I think that started in Texas, right? That was a neat
Yeah,
little
I think
place that I went to.
primarily in Texas, but I think it's spread out a little more.
Yeah, it started spreading out. Yeah. Well, what's a northeast one that you can think of? Isn't Wegmans something? Well, that's more.
That's like
where I guess.
that's a grocery store. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good grocery store. I would say that's if we're ranking grocery stores, that would be one of the top ones. It's just got so many options.
Yeah.
No matter what you're looking for. But I can only think of like really small local gas station chains that you would never.
Just in that city probably or something. I got you.
Like in central New York, just very specific.
What do you think of New York, by the way? I've never been to a city that big. I mean, Atlanta's pretty different. Atlanta's the biggest city I've been to.
That's a big enough city, though. Don't. It's not about the size, John. New York is interesting. I don't know. What do you want to know about it? It's like,
I don't know. Well, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages about it, in your opinion, like personally?
Well, I don't live in New York City, but
I would think the traffic is horrible, right?
Traffic is pretty bad, but I think a lot of times you're walking or using public transportation, so you're not.
Yeah, it's more of a walking city, right?
Yeah, you're taking the subway,
Yeah.
Or if it's the nights out, you can take a ferry. So it's got better public transportation than a lot of these cities. Like Atlanta's okay, I would call it, right?
Well, it's so sparse compared to these other cities. Like, I remember it opened a lot.
Yeah.
I believe it was Detroit.
If you happen to be, if the subway system in Atlanta happens to line up with exactly where you want to go, it's great. But
it never does, right?
If it's in like a corner or a weird spot, you're kind of screwed. You basically take the train halfway and then you Uber the rest or something,
Yeah. I have to wonder too. I would imagine. Well, actually, what do you think? Do you think Ubers are more expensive there or less, like per mile, than they would be in a more spread out Atlanta?
I've been in some non-cities, some like rural areas, and Uber is insanely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's like a competition. It's like a supply. It's probably a demand thing, or supply and demand issue.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah, go ahead.
let's say if there's one Uber driver, then like they're just going to charge insane amount of money in that area. So.
Right. Well, that's my thing. That's what makes me wonder because, I have to imagine that traffic is so horrible sometimes that they're going to be spending so much more time on the road. It has to be like, a far higher rate for, per mile, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because I went to D.C. at one point. I think I mentioned this earlier. I might or might not have, but dude, they drive like maniacs there. You ever been there?
Well, John, I grew up in the area. I grew up in Maryland, so.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, is it just me, or do they drive like maniacs?
No, they do. They do. It's a little crazy. It's a little scary sometimes. Yeah. It is also scary driving in New York City, if it's like your first time. Because they also drive like maniacs there.
You gotta be ready to cut you off, right? And then you just,
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even if you're a pedestrian, you gotta be watching out.
Yeah, they'll just blow right through.
There's a motorcycle in the background. I think that's good. I think we can end it there. It's getting late.
Sure.
I don't want to hold you back too long.
Yeah, no problem. No, I'm glad you're able to meet with me so late.
You got another dinner you got to get to, so.
Yeah. All right. Catch you later, man. Good talking with you.